Mm-hmm. Woohoo! I'm doing pretty well. How are you, Stu? Yeah. Not really. You're probably no more. I'm more casual than you are, I'd say. I guess. I mean, I'm just going off like you're wearing a T-shirt, which I feel like is maybe slightly more formal than a hoodie if we are going through the hierarchy of what is casual. Yeah. Hmm. You got to be kidding me right now. I'm sorry. This program sucks. I hate it. I'm catching this right now. I'm sorry, Stuart. They're not hearing you at all.
Should I start from the top?
Yes, start from the top.
All right. Live from the Lawrence Corridor in Chicago, it's Semi
My
Regular
regular
Wednesday
Wednesdays.
with our special guests Laura High, Bruce Lipsky, Brianna Woodward, Tom Padavano, and Emmy YK. And now, Baskin Robbins 30-second flavor, Flower Shop Bangers.
Woohoo!
Does he hear me now?
Yeah, they should be able to hear you now.
You see, this is what happens when I dress casual. This
I
is
know,
what
really.
happens
Everything goes
when I don't
haywire.
give a rat's ass.
Hmm.
Yeah, again, normally I wear like a sweater or a collared shirt or something, during the summer. I mean, I did practically every show, I should say, in a polo. I mean,
Hmm.
uh, okay, hey, maybe it's Murphy's Law. Maybe it's just bad luck. I don't know. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Semi-Regular Wednesdays. For those of you who do not know Dan and I, we are Flower Shop Bangers.
Hmm.
We are an improv duo based out of Chicago. We have been forming together for almost 8 years, and we have been hosting remote shows every Sunday and Wednesday pretty much since the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, we've taken a couple of Sundays off, a couple of Wednesdays off, but we've been pretty consistent about doing this twice a week for the last 11 months. Prior to 11 months ago, we were hosting the show at Shakers on Clark, 3100 block of Clark. And we like to think that we're bringing bar prov to the internet right now.
Hmm.
So Dan, we have a very jam-packed show tonight. We've got a intriguing mix of people that are from in Chicago, from Boston, but presently in Chicago and New York. But before I get into that, if you could say a few words about some of the small businesses that we're supporting, as well as some ongoing fundraisers.
Hmm. Yes, you are correct, Stuart. There are some of those that we're supporting. If you look down below at the little banner, if you're watching at home, you will see exactly what Stuart said, little fundraisers and small businesses that we're trying to support that we think might be worth your dollars. So first, there is a GoFundMe organized by the comedian Chris Red. Chris Red is trying to raise money for Black Lives Matters protests who happen to contract COVID-19. You can find a link to the GoFundMe in the description of this event. Second, there is the bar that Stuart and I usually host the show at. Stuart mentioned it. We host this at Shakers on Clark. Shakers on Clark is trying to still pay their bar staff through the pandemic, and they're doing that by having a GoFundMe to collect tips for them. So you can find a link to that GoFundMe in the description as well. Maybe if you were at home and if you are having a beer or other alcoholic beverage that is if you or you can give the money that you would have given for that to the bar. You can give that money to Shakers because they deserve your support. Third, there is a really great gym that I go to. It's called Bodi Shak. It serves the uptown community very well. It is also black owned and just really great spot if you ever are looking for a place for good workout classes. Um, yeah, you can find their website there to sign up for classes, or you can use they have a GoFundMe. I have a link to the GoFundMe as well if you just want to give directly. Um, let's see. And next is First Sip Cafe. First Sip Cafe is a coffee and tea shop and the Asia on Argyle community. Really great spot. I went there earlier today and got a really great Pearl Noir latte. That's my favorite one, but they have many other drinks on their menu, and you can find a link in this description to buy gift cards there. Last and certainly not least, there is the comedy school that Stuart and I have been trained at and have been a part of for the last 7 years, and that is One Group Mind. One Group Mind is currently reopening their comedy school. Well, not reopening right yet because we're still in the middle of the pandemic, but they are offering classes once the pandemic gets done. We're hoping sometime this year, but we'll never know. But they have 3 separate tracks. One is in improv, one is in stand-up, and the last is in theatricals. If any of those interest you, if you want to study comedy, whether you're a beginner or an expert, I think it's a really great opportunity. Anyway, also in between acts, I do try to give shout outs to whoever has been watching. So if you want a shout out, you can either like the stream on Facebook or comment, or you can comment on the stream on YouTube. Yeah, thanks. Back to you, Stuart.
Thank you so much. You know, keeping up with the casual motif of tonight's show, you may have noticed I still have my Valentine's Day decorations up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Valentine's Day was a week and a half ago. I just haven't gotten around to taking it down. I hope you like that little fuzzy heart thing that's on the wall there. Oh, sorry. I bought that for like $9 at CVS.
Nice.
I'm getting my $9 worth. Nevertheless, we have a really fun show for you tonight. Again, I feel like we've kind of established a geographical triangle of comedy because we have entertainers here from Chicago, Boston, and New York. Closing out the show, of course, your hosts, Flower Shop Bangers.
Woo!
We'll be doing a 15-minute improv set. Right before the Bangers, out of New York, we have comic Laura High.
Woo!
The real whiz on TikTok, just giving you all a heads up. Right before Laura High, out of Boston, we have Brianna Woodward.
Woohoo!
Right before Brianna, out of New York, you can find him on Twitter at Tom Comedy, Tom Padavano.
Woohoo!
Right before Tom, we have kind of I guess if I, for lack of a better word, a wunderkind, a little bit of a kid dynamo. From Boston, presently in Chicago, we have MEYK.
Woo!
And leading us off this evening is a comic that was first in our show a little over 2 months ago. We did a 2-night Hanukkah-themed event called 10 Jews, 1 Stew. We are pleased to welcome back one of the 10 Jews, Bruce Lipsky.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Everybody's dealing with this pandemic differently, and just so you know, I actually had the COVID back last March. And when you're sick, everything is thrown out of kilter, and sex is certainly out of the question as far as I'm concerned, and my wife is concerned, because I was under quarantine. But in order to keep the passion alive, my wife cut up one of her black lace bras and made masks out of them. Thankfully, she's a double D, or else it would have never fit over this nose. You should have seen what I did for her with my athletic supporter. But there's a lot of challenges with this whole COVID situation. We couldn't go shopping, so our supermarket decided they're going to have home delivery. But they couldn't guarantee the products we ordered all the time because of supply and demand. I can get an eggplant for this zucchini, rye for whole wheat. But how do you go from Colgate to Preparation H? Even my dog had to suffer. He went from the science side to my wife's cooking. He took one sniff, rolled on his back, and played dead. I've been trying to teach him that trick for 3 years. But prior to meeting my wife, I dated a lot. I even dated a very famous TV weather person. No, not Al Roker. But the first time we got into it was like a bad winter forecast. She was predicting 10 to 12, and all she got was 2 to 4. Man, was she angry. Now I know why they name hurricanes after women. But she is a fitness nut, my wife. She takes goat yoga. You may have heard of this. This is where the goat roams around the studio, jumps on your back, and licks your ears. She finds it very therapeutic and relaxing. So I said to her, how come when I tried that last week, you slapped me and threw me out of the bedroom? She said, well, he's got great technique and fresher breath. So I said to her, did they accept kids in the class? She says, no, they only use adult goats. But you know, I'm getting older, obviously, and I'm into a fitness program now. But I exercise only late at night, really late at night, between the hours of 3 and 5 in the morning. I run sprints from the bedroom to the bathroom. And the good news is I got my time down under 6 seconds. But unfortunately, I can only hold my pee for 4.2. And it's really hard getting old. I just turned 65. I looked in the mirror the other day. I look like a rusted old Buick. Body is totally shot and out of alignment. My rear end is making funny sounds. My hoses are leaking, and my ball joints have all dried up. I said, "Oh, I better get Mako." Mako says, "Oh no, you better get Medicare." And a lot of you young kids over here are probably laughing at, the old guy over here. You just wait and see. In 20 years from now, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to see a rusted old Prius. And I'm at the point right now. I seem to be stuck in low gear all the time. Even the pep boys can't help me. But in my house, it used to be if I had a leak, I'd call my plumber. Now I call my urologist. And it's $50 cheaper. Back in the 70s, I used to get on the disco dance floor. I used to get out there, meet the women, I'd go bust a move. I'm afraid to take my wife dancing now. I may bust a hip. And I'm starting to forget things. I swear my foam mattress has a better memory than I do. It's very difficult. And, you know, I'm at the stage in life where I change the batteries in my nose hair trimmer more often than I do in my TV remote. And I've been watching a lot of TV during COVID. And, you know, when you get older, sometimes people want to rip you off. I brought my vehicle in the other day for some service. I got the bill back, oil change, brakes adjusted, 4-wheel tire rotation. I said, this is all wrong. The mechanic says, what's wrong with it? I told him I drive a motorcycle. But during the pandemic here, my wife has been obsessed with buying on Amazon. I don't know if anybody else here is the same situation. We get so many packages, they just rezone my front porch as a loading dock. And the boxes are stacked up to the roof. Every time I go out there to try to pull something out, I feel like I'm playing a game of Jenga for Giants. I'm constantly going from the front porch to the living room to the second floor. I'm like a personal delivery monkey or Amazon primate. My birthday was coming up, so my wife said, Bruce, I'd love to get you a present. What would you like? I said, how about a forklift? Maybe a weight belt and a bigger house. And we have the only house in the block that has valet parking for the delivery guys. And the post office just issued us our own zip code. But what really got me upset is my wife, I caught her painting in my driveway, big letters, reserved for UPS. I think she's having an affair with the UPS guy. She's always constantly bragging about how big his package is. And now she's insisting only on backdoor delivery. I know what Brown's doing for her, but what's he doing for me? And lately she's into fantasy role play. I have to dress up in brown shorts, construction boots, and carry a clipboard. Anytime I want to have some fun, I got to sign for it. This is making my family life miserable. The only smiles in my house now are the ones on the cardboard boxes. We do love doing things together. Broadway shows, nice dinners, the UPS guy. Well, you got to keep it in the family. But she's gone psycho. We've been trying to figure out getting a new mattress. He went online and ordered a $4,000 avocado mattress. She says she's going green. She's not going green. She's spending my green. And then she says, oh, it's organic. I don't need organic in my bedroom. I need orgasmic. And let me tell you, it's starting to smell rotten too. The mattress, not my wife. But it's also very lumpy. I feel like I'm sleeping on a bed of guacamole with the pit still in there. I told her I feel like a fajita. What's next, sour cream pillows? And she got one of those Craftmatic adjustable beds. Oh boy, don't have an argument with your wife before going to bed with one of those things. We had a little fight. She took the remote control and put it bed into the shape of a taco. I said, I can't get in over here. I guess I wasn't going to ring her Taco Bell that night anyway. But, you know, what I'm spending, it's gone out of control. We recently got a new dog. Got one of those designer dogs. Okay, it's a cross between a Cocker Spaniel and a Poodle. They call it a Cocker. $4,000 for this dog. She carries it around like a Gucci handbag. I'd rather have the handbag. It only costs $3,000. And it doesn't need to be walked 6 times a day. It doesn't pee in your bed. I said, how can you spend so much money on a dog? She says, well, he has his papers. Papers. The only thing I've been cleaning up are the ones he's been peeing on. And she's named him Fabio. And she dresses him in silk pajamas, a gold collar, even has a smoking gag. She calls him Fabio. I call him Houdini. With 2 wags of his tail, he's completely had made my sex life disappear. I'm telling you, and it's hard to perform when you have an extra pair of eyes and 4 legs staring at you. And now he wants to give me pointers. He called me over the other day and said, hey, have you ever tried it on all 4s? Oh, I'm so embarrassed, let me tell you. And this dog has completely taken over my bedroom. He lays on my side of the bed, on my pillow, next to my wife snoring and farting. I've been doing that for the last 30 years. That's my job. I'm afraid to kick him out of bed. I'm starting to wonder who the real man of the house is. I may get scratched, bitten, and growled at by my wife. And I have the only dog that I don't know how has restless leg syndrome. How did this happen? All night long, the legs are going like this. I'm constantly getting kicked in the air. I haven't slept in 2 weeks. So my wife said, how do you know it's the dog? And the way she treats this dog, she just put this dog on the science diet. Me, she put on the science fiction diet. Serves me canned spaghetti and meatballs. All I know is the more canned food she serves me, the more time I'm spending in the can. And the dog just had its physical. His cholesterol is 37 points below mine. He's not walking around pre-diabetes. But the good news is we both tested negative for fleas. And the other day we had a mobile grooming van pull into my driveway, the size of a cabin cruiser, a battleship. On the sign it said, the rough life, R-U-F-F. I'm the one with the rough life. $150 for a blueberry facial, nose and paw moisturizer, and a spot treatment. I said, why? He's always rubbing his face in shit all day and smelling other dogs' asses. That's his spot treatment. For $150, I should get the blueberry treatment. She's been rubbing it in my face for 30 years. I think I need a husband rescue. And the other day she said, Bruce, take me out to the store. I need to buy some wool. I said, why? Somebody having a baby? She says, no, I'm knitting a sweater for the dog. I said, what? I asked you 2 weeks ago to sew a button on my shirt and you said you had no time and now you're making custom clothes for the dog? I said, well, he's a designer dog. And finally, don't get me started now. Now we only go to pet-friendly restaurants. We were in the restaurant the other day. My wife calls the waiter over and said, my husband and I are going to split a burger platter. But get me the pet menu over here. Mr. Fabio wants the $29.95 salmon platter. I said, what does he need the salmon platter for? She said, well, it's good for his coat. He doesn't need a coat. You're knitting him a sweater. That's my time. Thank you very much. My name is Bruce Lipsky.
Bruce Lipsky, everyone.
A little bit of bass with those 88s.
All right, thank you so much, Bruce. So before we have a couple of pieces, we have a couple pieces of business before we get to our next comic. Dan, can we take a quick check-in at our Facebook Live feed to see if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, nitpicks, grievances?
Yeah, no, I mostly just see a lot of people watching and seem to be enjoying it so far. So thank you to. Thought I'd give a special thank you to some people that I see there. That is Sam Nano, Pete Glass, the social media manager at Shakers on Clark, actually just shared the show. Thanks, Pete. Mark Romanowski. I'm sure he's watching at home with his wife Jordan. Always great to see them. We see them almost at every show. Carolina Canales commented, said hi. So hi back to you. Muddy Waters, who is Ron, I forget his last name at the moment, but
Professor Ron.
Professor Ron. We can call him Professor Ron. He was actually on the same team that Stuart and I met on, so that was fun. I also thought I'd give a special shout out to my girlfriend who's watching at home with her 2 dogs, Sally LaRue. Hi, Sally.
All right, thank you, Dan, and thank you to everyone who is tuning in. So when Dan and I moved our show to Shakers on Clark in July 2018, we began a two-man campaign to save Chicago Bar Prov. So for the unfamiliar, Bar Prov is a portmanteau for bar improv. Not necessarily exclusive to improv in a bar, but basically free comedy in a bar, including sketch comedy, stand-up, the occasional burlesque act, all sorts of miscellaneous random things, poetry readings, juggling, whatever, what have you. But mostly improv, hence the name.
Mhm.
And Dan and I kind of came of age kind of during this golden age of bar prov in Chicago in the early and mid
Correct.
2000s. And we first cut our teeth at the Underground Lounge in Wrigleyville, but there used to be bar prov shows all over the north side of the city. Looking at bars like Mullins and the Horseshoe and Crocodile Lounge, AJ Hudson's, the Publican, and Jerry Sandwiches. And one by one, these shows started getting canceled. The bars started going out of business. People in general started moving in a different direction. And when Dan and I were approached to do a show at Shakers, the very concept of bar prov in Chicago had its back against the wall. And we wanted to be that tent pole for the very concept of free comedy in a bar in Chicago. So again, not exclusive to improv or stand-up or what have you. As an incentive for our Save Chicago Bar Prov campaign, we have created this improv tip jar. Yes, there is cash inside this tip jar. And we use it as an opportunity to allow people that are enjoying the show to support the show, but as well as to give back to our performers. And at the moment, I believe there is $28.35 in our tip jar, which means split 7 ways, all of our performers tonight are going home with $4.05.
Woo!
We did not tell any of our performers that this was a paying gig. We just love to see the reaction in their faces. So if you are enjoying the show tonight and you want to support our performers, you can go ahead and Venmo me or Dan. We are not competing. All of the tips that we receive will be split 7 ways. Just think, if you tip $7, that's an additional $1 for each of our performers. And you can Venmo us at any point during the show, because this show will probably be going on until at least 8:20, 8:30 Central Time. Without further ado, our next performer has the, let me preface this. Hey, Dan, do you want to feel old?
No, quite frankly.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
Yes, Stuart, it's my favorite thing. I love feeling old. I love
So
feeling.
do I. High school is half a lifetime ago.
Oh my God.
Really though. So our next performer has the unique distinction of being the first act we've ever booked in our show that was born in the 21st century. Just to put this in perspective, when the year that our next performer was born, Dan was in 6th grade. I was a junior in high school. Bruce was 80, and she is a comic originally from the Boston suburbs and is presently an undergrad at Columbia College here in Chicago. Please welcome to our show, MEYK.
Okay. So, well, all you 7 people have your mute off. I want to hear you breathe through your nose. I want to hear you laugh through your freaking nose. All right. All right, so I'm using the Sharpie as a microphone. Hope I'm not muted. I work at an ice cream place. And that ice cream place is my birth control. I do not want any kids, and it is because of this ice cream place. So at this ice cream place, there is a window where you can come up and order, and then another window where you can come up and we give you your order. So we come up and people, parents specifically, like to have their kids use this as a teaching moment and have their kids come up on the freaking table, put them up there, and the kids are like coming through my window like, I want chocolate, and I'm like, what? This is during the pandemic that this is happening, coming through my freaking window like, I want chocolate, and the parents are just like Like he'll take Oreo. He's just like, I want chocolate, and we box our sprinkles. And I'm trying to calm this kid down, and I'm like, you want sprinkles with that? Something shifts in this kid's mind. He's like, sprinkles. So parents like to blame their kids' problems on us when they come up to the ice cream shack. They like to come up and they like to be like, hi, my kid, his ice cream fell. No, they don't say his ice cream dropped. His ice cream, it's his ice cream fell as if it was a moving thing. His fell. My kid's ice cream fell. Mommy, I'll get you another one. You guys made it too big. You made it too big. You really made it too big. Don't worry. Mommy will get you another one. I have this thing called mommy mode, where the moms talk to me like I'm their freaking kid. And they come up to me and they're like, do you have a potty? Do you have a potty? Because me and my son need to tinkle. Me and my son. I'm like, I have a freaking bathroom. I have a freaking porta-john. It's around the back. And I had to call it the dads right now. This is something dads do. And dads are always like right here. They take their kids, and moms are very scattered and right now and in the ice cream things. But dads, they know exactly what they want. They take their kids and they have them line up at the window. They palm their heads like they're a freaking eagle. And they're like, Vanessa will have this vanilla. John will have chocolate. Kate, and I'm like, I don't care what their names are. I don't care. I just scoop the ice cream. I don't care. So we're scooping the ice cream, and there's a sign in the back of the line that says, wait to be called. You think people read that shit? This woman comes up to my window as I'm in the back scooping ice cream. She comes up to my window and I'm like, shit, I gotta go take her order. So I use my nice voice. I'll be right there, miss. I'll be right with you. All right, shit. I walk up, making her feel bad. I spray the table because Rona. I wipe the table and she just starts ordering. She's like, I want a vanilla milkshake. And I'm like, wait a minute. Do you see me writing this shit down? Do you know what ice cream is so important that you can't wait 10 freaking seconds for? Vanilla? Well, just for any ice cream workers, just for their sake, just please, just know what you want when you go up there. When you go up there, say what ice cream you want, the size, and the cone, or if you want a cup. Because if not, me and you're gonna have a little game of 21 freaking questions. All right? You come up to my window, it's just like, oh, we have our flavor boards over there. What size do you want? What sizes are there? Small, medium, or large? Small. Cup or a cone? What cones do you have? And I go plain sugar waffle. And this dude hits me with this plain sugar. What did you just say? Plain sugar? It's plain comma sugar comma waffle. And that's all I have. Thank you.
MEYK, everyone.
And
Thank you so much, Emmy. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Normally I try to make small talk banter with like the comics after they do their set, but then I realized I have absolutely nothing in common with the average 19-year-old. Thank you so much, Emmy. We sincerely appreciate it. Hey, Dan, any updates on the live feed?
Yeah, I thought I'd give a couple shout outs to some people I see watching. One is Tiffany Young Kershaw, and the other is Kathy Leung. Thank you both for watching. We really appreciate everyone who does.
Thank you so much. Also, if you're looking for more information about Flower Shop Bangers ourselves, you can like or follow our webpage. Well, I should say you can like and follow our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Flower Shop Bangers. Or if it's just easier for you, you can just go to flowershopbangers.com. There's a direct link to our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel.
True.
Also, if you have missed any part of the show this evening, the whole show will be saved and archived on our Facebook page whenever this show ends, which again will be somewhere around 8:20, 8:30 Chicago time this evening. Without further ado, our next comic is originally from New York. You can find him on Twitter at Tom Comedy. Please welcome Tom Padovano.
Thank you. Thank you, Stuart. Hope everybody's been doing okay during this coronavirus. Now, I've continued to work, but I finally said, boss, can I work from home? He said, no, you're a cab driver. Now, I've had a lot of crazy bosses. Had this one. If I made a mistake, she'd say, Tom, look at the mistake you made. But if she made a mistake, it was, oh, Tom, look at the mistake we made. So I said to her, well, boss, look at the ugly dress we're wearing. Then I had a job as navigator on the Staten Island ferry. But they fired me on my first day as soon as I pulled into port at Boston Harbor. I mean, come on, it was my first day. And I hate looking for jobs. I went on this interview. They said, Tom, this job pays $1,000 a week. But in 6 months, it goes to $2,000 a week. I said, great. I'll come back in 6 months. Now, I come from a poor family in New York, but every year, my parents sent me to summer camp every January. And even though we were poor, every night, my mother had food on the table. I wish we had plates. Well, as a kid, my mom and I didn't get along. When I was 7, I said, Mom, am I adopted? Oh, son, not yet, but I'm working on it. Then I remember saying, Mommy, I wanted a toy truck for Christmas. I didn't get one. I'm upset. She goes, shut up. You're 40 years old. Then I remember when my father built me a tree house when I turned 45 and saying, move in the basement. Well, they were embarrassed because I was a terrible student, but I had tough teachers. I remember my gym teacher, Mr. Godzilla. I'll tell you how tough he was. During recess, when we played dodgeball, he drove the dodge. I mean, open school week for me was humiliating. My teacher made my parents write on the blackboard 100 times, we won't have more kids. And I wasn't the class clown. I was the class idiot, always getting left back. Do you know any other kid in 3rd grade excused for jury duty? It's terrible. Now, my best friend in school was Sheldon Rosenberg, and he was a member of a Jewish street gang, Saul's Angels. Saul's Angels were tough. At night, they sneak into stores and mark down faces. And he became a popular children's author. His most famous book, Goldilocks and Bagels. So he has this great place to live. I live in a dump. My apartment has a bug problem. I tried to open the kitchen cabinet door. It was pulled shut from the other side. Now, the other day, Croach, with furniture polish, it died, but had a great shiny finish. It was exciting for me. Now, my apartment is not quite as bad as the New York subways, and there's crazy people on there. The other day, this old man collapses out of his seat, holding his chest. From the other side of the train, this man yells, "I'm a doctor! Let me through! I'm a doctor!" So we let him through. And he stole the guy's seat. Terrible. And the cabs in New York, the cab drivers in this town speak over 60 different languages. Not one of them is English. It's amazing. And you know, because of living this way, I haven't been feeling well. So I've been looking for a new health plan. And I found one. I was with Blue Cross. Now I'm with IHOP. Yes, International House of Physicians. If we can't cure you, we will pay for your funeral. So anyhow, they give me this doctor, Dr. Julio Alejandro Bernstein. Amazing man. He examined me for less than 5 minutes and told me to come back the next day for an autopsy. Well, he got mad at me. I said, "Doctor, it hurts me when I touch here, hurts me when I touch here, hurts me when I touch here." He goes, "Idiot, you got a broken finger." Anyhow, what he did is he refers me to the Vincent van Gogh Mental Health Center and Ear Clinic. But you know what? I like it there because they have entertainers come in. Like once they had this hypnotist. He got 5 of us on stage. We were cackling like chickens, barking like dogs. Then he hypnotized us. But it is so important to have a good doctor. Feel sorry for my neighbor. Her doctor said, "Mrs. Sicko, you only have 10 to live." She goes, "What do you mean? 10 years? 10 months?" He said, 10, 9, 8, 7. That's not nice. But you know, let's face it, you want good things to happen, you got to do your part, right? It's like my Uncle Luigi now. Every Sunday, we go to church together. Every Sunday, he prays the same prayer. "Oh God, please let me win the lottery. Oh God, please let me win the lottery." So the sky gets dark and a voice from the sky says, "You want to win the lottery? Do me a favor, buy a ticket." You got to be in it to win it. Now, I was in a relationship, but my girlfriend dumped me. I wasn't surprised. A couple of days before she did, I said, "Honey, while you were dating me, were you dating other men?" She goes, "Oh, come on. You're the 5th guy to ask me that today." It's terrible. I mean, I go up to women at clubs. "Hey, babe, what's your sign?" "Keep off." Well, you've been a wonderful crowd, extremely quiet and confused, but wonderful. And I sincerely hope that you've had as much fun and pleasure as I've had tension and emotional strain. Oh, don't worry about me. I'll just go back to the Vincent van Gogh Mental Health Center and Ear Clinic and tell my psychiatrist this was my last 10 minutes of community service. So thanks and enjoy the rest of the show.
Tom Padovano, everyone. And again, you can find him on Twitter at Comedy Tom, or Tom Comedy. It rhymes, or sort of. Hey Dan, how's the live feed looking?
You know, it stayed pretty consistent, but I thought I would just thank everyone who's watched so far and say that if you have enjoyed tonight's show and you would like to see us in the future, you can either like the Flower Shop Bangers on Facebook or you can subscribe to us on YouTube. We do this show twice a week, every Wednesday and every Sunday.
Yep. Also, we still have this tip jar. Everyone is still going home with $4.05, or at least $4.05. So keep donating, or I should say, keep supporting our performers. Just think, Dan, with this money, you can buy 1.5 gallons of unleaded.
You can.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I mean, the opportunity is right there. Without further ado, our next comic is originally from Boston. You can find her on YouTube and on Instagram at Not a Damn Cheese. Please welcome Anna Woodward.
Hey, everybody. Hell yeah. I am so glad to be here. This feels like a daddy-daughter dance I never got to go to. I mean, I have a dad. It's just the county jail hates funds. Whatever. Hell fucking yeah. Anyway, hi, I'm Brianna, and I look like if Dan made himself in Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Hell. I'm like, this motherfucker had the same hair. What the hell? God damn. This is fun, you guys. I'm freaking living my dreams. It's like 3 degrees outside. I love this. So yeah, my name's Brianna, and I do look like a Tony Hawk character, which, is kind of my vibe. So last summer, I decided I was going to try to start skateboarding finally, just really learning the part. And let me tell you, it went great because I ate shit so fucking hard, they put me in a Human Centipede movie. It was not good. It was a bad time for all. So what happened was, for some reason, I decided that for my first street skate, I was gonna go down a hill. And I don't know if you can see me, but I am a lot of person to just put on a cutting board on wheels. That is inertia. There's a lot of science happening. And so I get to the bottom of this hill and there's a wall, so I have to turn, and I ended up turning. I slipped off the skateboard and I was wearing nothing except a t-shirt and shorts. So yeah, needless to say, sandblasted my asshole off on Route 20. Like, it was not good. And so what added insult to injury too was that some woman was watching me from the safety of her porch, and instead of coming over to help me, who's just bleeding in the middle of a street, she just yells out "Are you okay?" And I must have hit my head or something, because I don't know why I yelled this back, but I was just like, I'm learning. What am I learning? That you can't just play video games and then skate in real life? That's really not how it translates. But yeah, I don't know. It was cool. I thought, just being a woman would make me a good skater. I thought I would know better because, I don't know, women learn this lesson pretty early on. You got to put pads on before you're bleeding everywhere. That's it's kind of how it fucking has to work. So yeah, that's that. It was pretty fun. Got my skateboard from a flea market. Hell yeah, I'm gonna crowd work to all the comics here because that's what I got to work with. And when you're flea markets, yeah, bed bugs be hitting different when you pay a nickel for them. Yeah, that shit's rad. It's cool. I like going to flea markets because I like to check out all the old stuff, touching on it, feeling it, learning all the history. It's how I found myself a new grandma. It's really going great. Cause listen, new nanas always got to have them around for when you got to move, because I'm on the move all the time. And they're like, I'm sick of asking on Facebook, oh, hey, can anyone help me move? And all you get is Chads and Kyles. It's yeah, cool. Your dad gave you a Ford F-150. I don't care. Not impressed, because they help you move and they want beer. They want pizza. They want you to suck their dick a little bit. And it's no, I don't have time for all of this. So I gotta go get myself a grandma, because those bitches be moving entire nursing homes full of furniture to this sun-baked field every Sunday for free. And they only want you to suck their dick a little bit. It's fucking awesome. So here's how to find yourself a flea market grandma. Hell yeah. You go to the flea market and you just look for the tables that have porcelain dolls. You know, like little porcelain figurines and stuff. They're called precious moments, I guess. Yeah, old people like collecting them because they don't got many left. So they really be just letting them collect dust. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get why old people like porcelain dolls so much. It's like they don't even know that they're made out of toilets. That's gross. Ew. But I guess it kind of makes sense as to why Nanas always put all them fabric accessories in their bathrooms. Like, you ever rock a piss at grandma's house and she's got like shag rug on the toilet lid? Like, what the fuck? Like, I do not need a clit tickler. I just need to tinkle. This is egregious, Nana. You fucking freak. I don't know. They're just dressing up their big porcelain dolls, I guess. It's fun when they come with a squirt function. That's cool. Yeah, you guys. God damn. So, yeah, I come from a very, how should I say, white trash family, if that wasn't obvious. My dad's a character. He's an aggressive alcoholic. Yeah, he moved to Montana, and I can't think of a better place for that man, because it's like, it is a little weird, though, because he converted to being a Mormon when he got there. He grew up Catholic, converted to Mormonism. I asked him why. He said that he needed, like, some challenge in his faith, I guess. I don't know. I guess beating just one wife wasn't enough for him, so he's really, he's out here. No, my dad's cool. He likes his women how he likes his chicken, okay? Just a little saucy. And maybe battered. It's fine. All right. He is out here. No, when I was younger, whenever I had to stay with my dad, he would always take me camping. And yeah, I don't know if any of you like camping or just being in the woods at 5 p.m. with my dad. Super drunk, but he did his best. Like, he had like a really nice tent. He had like that fancy cooking stove, which is more like a glorified Bic lighter, but whatever, you know. Wieners taste better when you're freebasing them next to a pine tree. Pass the bent spoon. I want some beans. All right. He did only have one sleeping bag, which was weird, but we're moving past it. So it's like, all right. And he would always have a picnic basket. It was like this big ass cooler, but it never had any fucking food in it. It was just like a 24 rack of Budweiser, a single can of beans, and for some reason, just like a loose hot dog in a Ziploc bag. That's all he had left. It's like, by the end of the night, all the beer is gone, the beans are empty, and I'm really worried that a loose wiener in a bag is my sleeping arrangements. Like, oh geez. Very, very stressful time camping with my dad, but he made it fun. We went camping at the beach. We went camping in the woods, camping on a mountain. Wasn't until this weird alcoholic bitch took me camping behind a local liquor store that I realized the severity of his problem with, you know, homelessness. Yeah, you guys. Home Depot hits different when it's your fucking street address. It's cool. We turned that AutoZone into an auto home. We out here. Like, being homeless isn't too bad. It's not that different from having a home. Like, I used to like take pictures of real estate for a job. Yeah, I had a job. Imagine that. People let me into their homes without it being a B&E. That's cool. Like, so I would go in there and they'd be like, "Oh, look at all my granite countertops." Blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, neat, bitch. I also ate off of rocks. You're not special." And like, they always like, "Oh, homeless people, they're just going to spend all their money on drugs and alcohol." And it's like, all right, well, I will take that as like a bad thing when I can walk into like a middle-aged white woman's home and not see alcoholic decor everywhere. Like, every single one of them's got a vase full of wine corks. Like, neat. There's literally no difference between that and like a trash bag full of empties, ma'am. Like, at least my empties are worth like tens of nickels more, okay? Like, I'm getting all the bed bugs at the flea market. Fuck you. It's true. It's like, you have like the little wooden signs, you know, like live, laugh, love and shit, but then you get like the alcoholic ones where it's like, "Oh, 5 p.m., mommy needs a drink." Like, no, mommy needs to go to fucking AA. Like, she's got a problem. You are not into DIY, you are into DUIs, man. Get it? together. It makes me salty, you know, because other vices can't get away with that. You know, you can't walk into like a trap house and be like, oh, here's my cute little hedgehog made out of used hypodermics. That's not making it to the Pinterest board. No way. Get like a wooden board. It's just like little sign written on it. Like, it's all about your attitude. It's Narcan, not Narcan. No, you can't do that. They don't love it. They don't love it, you guys. But hey, it's cool. I survived the childhood, and I'm proud to say that I'm coming at you live from a 3rd-story walk-up apartment, everybody. That's right. Yeah. You got to walk up a whole bunch of stairs. Like, I don't really see my dad anymore because he can't really complete 12 steps. Really struggled with it. All right. Well, I'm Brianna. That's my time. I'm going to go home now. Bye.
Brianna, one word, everyone. That means there's 3 people in our show tonight that have a 3rd-story walk-up. Technically. That means there's technically 3 people in the show that have a 3rd-story walk-up.
At least.
Dan's having a snack. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I mean, I've been guilty of doing the same thing. I've had snacks during our set as well. I mean, we keep it casual here. Hey.
That's true. We are pretty casual.
Yeah, very cash. Any updates, Dan?
Yeah, I thought I'd give a couple shout-outs. One is to Dennis Episcopo, and another is to Lisa Marie Farver. Both are watching the show.
Hello.
I also thought I'd give a second shout-out to Tiffany Young Kershaw because she gave a very generous donation to our tip jar. Thank you very much for that.
Right. Yeah, and at the moment, that means everyone and all of our performers tonight are going home with $14.05. Once you do the math.
It's true. Pretty good.
I won't say like how I figured that out in my head. Even though I am one half of the Regional Women Flower Shop Bangers, I also have a comedy page. It's called Stu News, and it's a basically an opportunity for me to post topical jokes, like my monologue jokes. You know, basically I take something that's actually going on in the news, and then I make some wise ass remark about it. You can like it on Facebook, facebook.com/StuNews, or you can just find me on Twitter at HeyStu818. Without further ado, our next comic was someone that Dan found. Dan maintains a pretty healthy TikTok, a very robust TikTok, and
Might be a bit. It might not be healthy.
Robust. Maybe the word is robust. She's doing excellent stuff on TikTok. She maintains a pretty solid Twitter too. You can find her on Twitter at Laura High 5. Please welcome our special guest of the evening, Laura High.
Woo! Right now, I have an anxiety disorder. If I don't hear laughter, I'm not going to do well. Turn them on, guys. I see it. What's
All
up,
right.
guys? My name is Laura. I'm told I look like a Jewy Anne Hathaway who eats. I don't, Stuart, I don't take that laughter as a compliment. I really don't. I don't know what to do. How are we all doing in the pandemic? Are we okay? Are we safe? Are we still wearing our masks? What's happening? I love my mask. It's like hiding my quarantine weight gain. It's I mean, like Zoom shows are great, but I'm just like, oh no. It's the nice thing about TikTok, actually. They've taught me how to contour and like hide this. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Gen Z. You're awesome. Oh God, but no, it's anyone that's done like any weird like quarantine purchases. What have you bought that's weird? Yeah? You wanna know what I bought? I bought a pug. I bought a freaking pug. I bought a dog. I was one of those people, and that was a very weird choice that I made. It was so hard getting a dog and getting a pug, especially. We went through like a bunch of breeders trying to figure out like where we're gonna get it, and there was one breeder that we found that was like absolutely insane. I had to pay an application fee. Because apparently this is the Harvard of dogs. I was expecting, so this like can do my taxes, like what's going to go on with it. But I had to answer a 70 question application.
Wow.
70 questions. My favorite question was, do you have a disaster plan in place? And if so, have you made room for your pug?
And I'm going like, excuse me, sir, I live in New York City. My disaster plan is die first. Are you kidding me? If I wanted to live, if a bomb hit, I'd live in North Dakota. I live in Manhattan. My disaster plan is grab the pug and run to like the blast zone. That's the plan. Like, and no one survives with a pug. What are you kidding me? If I wanted to like a dog that survived, I'd get like a German Shepherd Hummer bazooka mix. Not a pug, like not something that like can't breathe when it's 2 months old. Oh my God. Yeah, no, that's definitely happening. I'm quarantined with 5 people. I'm quarantined. I'm actually quarantined with my mom. And it's great. We've only had like 5 massive fights today. It's good. My family's like super religious. Anyone else? Anyone else have a super religious family? Yeah. No, my family's like so religious. Like my grandfather, Passion of the Christ was soft. That's the level of religion. Like, and they're not just religious, they're like superstitious. Like I was really young, I ran to my mom and I'm like, Mom, there's a ghost in the basement. And she's like, Laura, there's no such thing as ghosts. Those are demons. And so she took me to a parapsychologist. Because apparently I live in a Stephen King novel. And this guy, he was a medium, and what his thing was, he channeled the spirit of an Indian chief and told me in a past life I was a Greek oracle, and that is why demons and spirits flock to me. I know that's a lot to soak in, but I gotta move on to the next joke. But that's that. Does anyone have like friends who are like super into past lives? Yeah, have you noticed they're always something awesome?
Yes.
Right? They always were. They're always like, I was a Greek oracle. I was a princess. I was a gladiator. I had a thigh gap. Like, I know 5 girls in Brooklyn who are like, I was Joan of Arc. And I'm like, excuse me, sweetheart, but like one of you has to be Hitler. That's not how it works. Quarantine could totally be worse. I'm actually very grateful for where I am. Literally right before quarantine, I got a divorce.
Woo.
So and you know what? It's good. It's great. I'm not letting the divorce get me down. I'm not letting it stop me. I don't even label myself a divorcee. I'm a rescue. Yeah, somebody take me home. Whoever dropped that giant tip. I mean, I've had all my shots, and I may have passed, but if you love me, people will say you're brave. Which one of you is my forever home? No, I am divorced, and it's like no one knows what to tell you. Like when you get a divorce, like even like my best friends are like, "Oh, Laura, when did you know it was time to leave your husband? Was it when you became a raging alcoholic?" And I'm like, and like, seriously, I knew in my soul I had to leave my husband when I started hoarding inspirational quotes. Because think about it, if you need to be like told by a rainbow, tomorrow's a new day, you're not doing good. No, but it's interesting when you get a divorce, there's like because I know that I'm young for getting a divorce. I'm very aware of it. And I had you have like 2 groups of friends. You have like your married friends who they get it. They understand how hard marriage is. And they're like soldiers on the front line with you. They're giving you snacks. They're giving you booze. They are great. And then you have your never married friends who come in there like missionaries with their advice. I was told by my never married friends, well, marriage is hard. It takes work. Have you tried communicating? Bitch, you've been with your boyfriend for 2 years. We've had fights longer than that. We've had this one fight going for 3 years. It's a stalemate. I just bring it out as a power play. I am dating again though, and it's terrifying because like it's absolutely terrifying because like I'm half Jewish, half Polish. So you can imagine the down payment I have to pay on waxing. And I was with like my husband for 10 years. 10 years. I was used to marriage honesty. And now I'm back to dating honesty, which is lying. I mean, like, I was at the point with my husband where like I would be naked, putting Spanx on, checking him for hemorrhoids. And now I'm saying dumb shit like, oh yeah, I'd be totally into rock climbing. Tell me more about that band Guster. They sound great. And I do have a boyfriend who hates that Guster joke because that is about him. I do have a boyfriend and he's very supportive. He's great. He's wonderful. He's sweet. And he heard this joke and he's like, Laura, I respect where you're coming from. I understand. And I just want you to know you can be honest with me. You can put a Spanx on in front of me.
Mhm.
Cupcake, have you ever seen a woman put Spanx on? And he's like, no, but it's just like underwear. And I'm like, yeah, underwear of lies. It's like literally watching the sausage get made.
Mhm.
I do think that, I do think one of the issues with marriage, I really do, is weddings. I love weddings. They're great. They're beautiful. I'm so sorry. There's like a young kid here. And I know that like I am like just crushing her dreams and everything so badly about that. I mean, I want to tell her like, life is beautiful. Life is free. And she's not listening. She's on TikTok right now. That's fine. She's learning how to contour. It's good, guys. It's fine, but it's good. I don't know. Maybe she's buying a new bronzer. Let's just actually, I'm sorry. This is funny to me. Let's wait and see how long it takes her to look up. Let's see. This is fun. I'm sorry. We're abandoning my set. We're watching this. Hang on. Watch. Hey, what's up? What were you looking on at TikTok? I'm just curious. Were you watching how like skinny jeans aren't cool anymore? Were you watching? Oh, she's gone now. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, it's fun. I miss being in the clubs and I miss, making fun of the audience members. And I saw an opportunity. Thank you. You just warmed my little dead heart. Anyway, what was I saying? Weddings are stupid. Okay. Weddings are dumb. I love them. They're great. They're beautiful. But weddings don't reflect what a marriage is. I just realized the audience had absolutely no idea what I was talking about, right? They had no clue that I can see anybody. I'm sorry, audience. I just made a joke that you have no idea what that was about. I'm sorry. It was funny to the comics, and that's what matters. Anyway, weddings are dumb. I'm going to make a point at some point. So weddings are stupid. A wedding, you have to think about it. A wedding is like, you look the best you'll ever look. And you have a flock of people following you around all day going like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh my God, you're amazing. Oh my God, I love all of your choices. That's not what a marriage is. That's not. Like what I think should replace weddings is like a reality show, like Survivor. Like imagine it, like 3 couples go in, only one earns the right to get married. Bill and Sue have to build a house, but because of student loans, they only have 50% of the materials they need. They're 70% of the way done. Let's throw a baby of psoriasis on them and see if they still want to have sex. I'll end with this. I don't know if it's apparent, but I have daddy issues. Surprise, Brianna. I was laughing pretty hard at your jokes. No, I have a lot of daddy issues. I do. I say I love because I'm conditioned to say that. I deal with my father. It's really bad. I deal with my dad. And my dad is very passive aggressive. He's manipulative. He's a pathological liar. He left my mom and I for another woman. And yet my mom still defends me all the time. It drives me crazy. And I told her, Mom, I'm going to write some stand-up about how dad's an alcoholic. And she's like, Laura, you can't do that. He's the father and he deserves dignity. Bitch, he left you. I think his dignity can withstand a knock-knock joke. Check it out, guys. Ready? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Not my dad. Thank you all so much. My name is Laura. Hi.
Laura, hi, everyone. Laura, that was phenomenal. Thank you. I think Daddy issues might be I'm not sure. I can write the management, but I don't want to. There's a lot to unwrap. Nevertheless, thank you, Laura. You're absolutely phenomenal. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you. to Emmy Young, I should say Emmy YK, to Tom and to Bruce. Thank you. You've all been phenomenal this evening. Before we get to our last act, Dan, any last shout-outs on the live feed? Any questions, comments?
No, but I got a text from my girlfriend Sally, said that this might be my favorite human who's been on your show who isn't you. Seems like she found your set good, Laura.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone who has tuned in, and thank you to all of our performers. We really can't do this show without you. I mean, we've already done 88 of these over the span of 11 months. It's just so hard for me to fathom. And hey, we're going to keep doing this every Saturday and Wednesday until there's any semblance of normalcy in American society. Whenever the theaters open, whenever the bars reopen, and all of that. So, of course, we'll be back this Sunday, February 28th. We're closing out the month. We're bringing back Jacob Williams. Jacob was in our show about 5 weeks ago. Really phenomenal comic. He's been on Stephen Colbert. We're bringing back the Magical Lying Hour. Really awesome improv drama hybrid thing out of Dallas, Texas. Plus stand-up comedy from Sarah Alberton and Jay Martin. So please make sure to check that out. Also, if you have missed any part of the show so far, again, this whole show will be saved and archived on the Flower Shop Bangers Facebook page right after this show ends. Without further ado, your final act of the evening are the co-hosts and co-producers of Semi-Regular Sundays and Semi-Regular Wednesdays. 2 shows, same title. Oh, I should say 2 shows, basically the same, except for the title. They have been performing together for almost 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be celebrating their 8th anniversary right here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, the first Wednesday in April. I believe that's April 7th.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing Zoom shows basically for the last 11 months. But in the before times, they performed at improv festivals in cities as exotic and far-flung as Omaha, Nebraska, St. Louis, Missouri, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Baltimore, Maryland.
Yes.
Please welcome Flower Shop Bangers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I'd point my finger above to the fact that I put both Stuart and my Venmos up I'm going to keep them up for the duration of the show. So if you want to donate to our tip jar, all donations sent to either of those Venmos will be split equally amongst all the performers tonight. And we think they've done a great job. We really appreciate you all for watching. And we are the Flower Shop Bangers. We're going to do some improv for you, and we get weird with it. Kick the can.
All right. Well, what can you do?
You can't really do much, honestly.
Yep.
Jake.
Brian.
Can we really do anything?
Well, I mean, we had to close the electronics store.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no one's buying electronics in person anymore. And we can physically tell people this is just not commercially viable anymore.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, we had to shut down this whole store. I mean, we were the managers of a Fry's Electronics.
We were. And now, what have we become?
Just 2 schmucks on the curb.
Yeah. We're closing down a Fry's Electronics. Getting paid overtime to close it down.
Hmm.
You know what? It could be worse. We
Yeah,
could be not getting paid at all.
Yeah, exactly.
We could have volunteered for this. And quite honestly, this is a lot of work.
Yep. You know, I always thought I looked kind of sharp in this polyester polo shirt and chinos.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I know, I get it. The uniform.
Yeah. I
Honestly,
mean,
that was part of the job for me, you know.
yeah, I wanted to I wanted to work somewhere where there was a uniform, if,
Yeah.
it's, otherwise I would have never worked retail.
And Target rejected me.
Wow,
Yeah.
man. Meyer never called me back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could try give Meyer another shot, but I just don't know if I'm Meyer, quality, management.
hmm
I feel like I'm cursed.
Why?
I
You
feel
feel like
like,
you're cursed?
yeah, it's like this is like my third store in a row where I was the manager, and it happened to be just as the corporate went bankrupt and everything. Because I was at Fry's.
hmm
Obviously we're here sitting in a Fry's parking lot.
Yeah, we are sitting here in a Fry's parking lot.
But before that, I was a manager at a Guitar Center.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know that sounds a little bit like, maybe there is some witchery.
But before that, I was a manager of a Toys R Us.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm snake bit. I mean, I'm afraid that wherever
yeah.
I land next, I'm basically because of death.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm just old, maybe I'm just grizzled and cynical, and
So have you
maybe
sent any job applications out yet?
well, I sent one to Meyer. I
Really?
figured there's new management there. I figured, maybe get something that's maybe like
hmm
whatever is one knock above entry level, maybe get a cashier gig.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can take the blow. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
maybe I just need to change of pace.
How far along in the process are you? Like, do you think you can get a job there?
Well, I mean, I clicked that button where it says attach resume,
hmm
and I attached resume,
Okay.
and then I hit save just as we got the email telling us that they were closing our store.
Wow.
Yes.
So anyway, if you could please keep me up to date on all the stores you happen to apply to, because I'm going to apply to all the other ones.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
Also, if you could, for the just like don't apply to TJ Maxx or AutoZone.
no TJ Maxx, no AutoZone. I'm gonna
Yeah,
note of this.
I've applied to those two so far. Those were the two places where I saw jobs, and quite honestly, I kind of want to keep my next job.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's understandable, right?
You know what's the second coolest thing about working at Fry's was?
What?
They gave us free Blackberries.
That is true. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Free
how many people
Blackberries.
still have Blackberries nowadays?
Pretty much no one.
Yeah, it's so cool and retro. Blackberry. Yeah, remember when everyone had a Crackberry?
Yeah, no, I had one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a great texting experience. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
I mean, that was kind of the incentive for me. That was another incentive for me. It was
Mhm.
just like, you get the free Blackberry, you get a discount on
Yeah.
flash drives.
I mean, everyone eventually started going with the touchscreen, and I mean, it's good.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, so no AutoZone, no TJ Maxx.
Yeah, I'm just saying those two. I'll wait until I hear back from them before I tell you don't apply anywhere else.
Hmm.
Eventually we'll run out of retail jobs in this area if we're not careful, because and it's really nothing personal. It's just based on what you've told me about your history. I really feel as though it's better if we it's better for me in my career if I don't get fired again. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Like, I really don't mean to be rude. It doesn't seem like it's always been your fault, but if it's juju, then I just don't want any part of it.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm afraid it's juju. I'm afraid that I give off this negative energy.
hmm I don't think you give off negative energy. I've actually always liked you, but I don't know. Maybe the universe feels differently.
Perhaps. I mean, maybe I need to change my attitude. Maybe I'm not being optimistic and cheerful enough. Maybe the last time I saw a customer walk into Fry's yesterday, maybe it was not sincere enough in saying, "Good afternoon and welcome to Fry's Electronics. I'm Jason. How can I help you today?"
I can tell you. Is that how you greeted them?
Yes.
It's exactly like word for word with all of the, because I have never been that cheerful. And I can tell you, I was getting plenty of promotions.
Mm-hmm. I maybe I was forcing it. Maybe I was just being a little too chipper. Maybe just a little too, I don't know, preening, glad handing. Maybe,
Well,
okay, let me try this. Welcome to Fry's Electronics. My name is Jason. How can I help you today?
that was perfect.
Okay, that's what I should have done. Damn it.
Sorry. It's just that was like really perfect.
Oh,
Like if I were a customer, I know I want to talk to you.
I appreciate that. Thank
It's
you.
a little hard to put myself in the customer's like footsteps though. It's kind of a bit of a gap when you work in retail for a long time, but think like the customer thinks.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I mean, you were my confidant in this office. I mean, I knew business was slow. I mean, I didn't want to make the other employees feel ill at ease. I could tell that, half of them were spending, half the day on their phones. Yeah. I mean, why on earth would you be on an iPhone 9? I mean, oh my God. I mean, Crackberry, man.
Yeah,
Crackberry.
dude.
I just don't get people.
I don't get people either.
Yeah.
But you know what people do? They do go into retail stores and they do buy things.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, like that's one reason why I know that, I feel like I'll always have a job is because people will always buy things.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've always been pretty good at selling them. I don't think I'm the best, but I think I'm moderately good at it.
Yeah. I mean, I would say you did a pretty good job. I mean, I really can't give you your exit interview because we basically all got fired en masse. But hey, I mean, if you dish it out, you can be honest with me now. I mean, you don't have to, if it feels like you're.
What is there to dish, man? I feel like I want to serve you a pizza when you say that.
I like that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm still
like that's more of my intuition.
I'm just wrapping my head around this. I thought this was going to be what I was going to do for the rest of my adult life. I turn 70, I get my pocket watch, I can, move to Florida or Georgia or something like that. And well, now I'm back at square one.
Oh.
And you're younger than me. I mean, you've got your world ahead of you. I mean, the world is your oyster.
Sure.
You are, honest to God, you are like a brand new Cadillac. I am a 2014 Ford Focus.
A brand new Cadillac.
You are a luxury car. You are brand spanking new, right fresh off the line. And it's like I have good mileage, but I'm no spring chicken either. Because they're going to look at my age and they're going to be concerned that, I'm going to be gone in, 5 years, 10 years. I want to be somewhere where they know that I'm in for the long haul. I'm not just, leapfrogging from job to job.
Mm-hmm. No one wants a drifter. That's a death sentence for the job market.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be a retail drifter.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving me a lot to think about. I almost, I was going to say that I was almost more like a retail nomad.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I don't want to say that like the road is my home necessarily, but it's like, having this stretch where I haven't been anywhere for more than a couple of years, it's there's a part of me that thinks that that's gonna look bad on a resume. There's that lack of consistency.
You can put me down as a reference if you want.
Oh, please. If you want, yeah, I would love to. And if you,
seriously, I'm just saying that because like it sounds like you're so insecure, but like you can put me down. I'll tell them good things. I'll tell them that, it's just been bad luck that you've, that you've tried your best. And the only reason the only reason I'm not applying to the same job is because I don't want bad luck.
Yeah, I mean, I
don't
get it.
want bad luck.
The best thing we need to do is split.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would just have to just kind of break it off. Yeah, just go in our separate directions. Just no, I mean, we work well as a team, but sometimes it's like lightning in the bottle.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well.
Yeah, I can't help but keep staring at this empty parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea how sad it is to just look at an empty parking lot in the middle of a goddamn strip mall?
Yeah, because I'm looking at it too.
Yeah, there's something.
I know exactly what it's like.
Eerie and weird and dead. It's just, I never saw this parking lot full of brim, not even during Christmas. Not even like during the holiday rush, mid-December, it was like maybe like 2/3 full. Maybe. Like half the time maybe that was the writing on the wall. It was just like it was a weak holiday season and they decided, no, we gotta pull the plug. This is not working. Well, if you're gonna apply at AutoZone, I mean, there's an Advance Auto Parts up the road. I mean, and they still do paper applications. I mean, I still got my clicky pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I guess this is it. We're leaving this prize electronics.
Yep. I mean, hey, I'm just glad they're letting us keep our crackberries.
That's true. Let us keep them.
Yeah.
That's our show.
That's our show. Thank you to all of our performers tonight. To Brianna, Emmy, Laura, Tom, and Bruce. Thank you all. Thank you all. We sincerely appreciate it. We'll be back this Sunday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. In the meantime, please wash your hands. Please wear a mask or 2 masks. Please stay a minimum 6 feet away from strangers and acquaintances. Believe